Welcome back, my friends. So not too long ago, we did a review of the RK2020 on this channel. Definitely recommend taking a look at that video. But today we're going to be doing a follow-up, testing some more games, specifically Dreamcast. Because in my previous video, I only tested games that came included on the device. Today, I've added a handful more Dreamcast games that you guys had suggested and recommended testing out on the device so we can see how it performs. A lot of people seem to have been pleased with this device, some people not so much, and Dreamcast was one thing a lot of people were telling me this device does very well with. So not all consoles are going to play their games 100% on a device like this, and Dreamcast is no different. But I want to see a nice little selection of games. We got 5 games we're going to test here. Some sports games, fighting games, you'll see. But let's go ahead and get this started, play a game, let you guys see it, and I'll comment on it afterwards. So first up, we're going to check out Power Stone. One of my favorites. I'm looking at a viewfinder, so if I suck in these games, quit busting my balls and just check it out and see the performance here. So here we go. So there you go. Power Stone was performing fairly well in my opinion. Didn't really have too much of an issue. If you see any weirdness on the screen, it's just the way the recording is, recording off camera onto this LCD screen. The screen resolution, doesn't really work well with Dreamcast. It's not as sharp as it could be, but a lot of people are fine with that. So I just wanted to point that out. But Power Stone, yeah, playing very well. Now, next up, we have Sega Tennis, Sega Sports Tennis 2K2, I think it is. So let's test it out.
Williams to serve. Love 15.
Now this game, the tennis game, I've played it a couple times on the RK2020, and it's kind of hit and miss. Sometimes the game is, pretty smooth, and then other times it kind of chugs along a bit. I think it really depends on what court you're on, what characters are on the screen. I don't know. It's just kind of weird, but yeah, the tennis game, it performs okay sometimes, but then other times it's kind of choppy and sluggish, so it's a no-go for me. So next up, we tested Dead or Alive 2. This one is a great game, and it performs decently well on a lot of different devices. So let's check it out.
Get ready.
So there you go. Dead or Alive 2, I was kind of a little disappointed there. It didn't perform as well as I'd hoped. I mean, it didn't perform well at all, in my opinion. Very sluggish and choppy. Every one of these games, you might have issues with. Some games might run almost 100% and might just have like a little audio pop in the beginning or like a little slowdown when the game first starts, and then it's fine. I think a lot of people can deal with that, but when you're in the action and playing the game, nah, we can't We can't be having that slowdown going on. And Dead or Alive 2, unfortunately, is not working well for me on the RK2020. So let's go ahead and move on to one of them that a lot of people had brought up. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, such a great game. Previous video, I think somebody thought I said it was nonsense, but I was referring to the way it emulated on a device. Hell no, I don't think this game is nonsense. I think it's an amazing game. One of my all-time favorite fighters, just like a lot of people out there. So let's go ahead and take a look at how this performs. So there you go, Marvel vs. Capcom 2. As far as like the game playing, yeah, it seems like it plays fine. I can't get, I can't figure out what the buttons are on this thing. I mean, you could change the button combinations, but I didn't want to mess with it. I wasn't playing this stuff seriously here. Just wanted to test out performance. But it plays smoothly. It just has those graphics glitches that seem to be fairly common with this game on a lot of devices. For me, that's a no-go. Yeah, it performs decently well, but I want to play it the way it was intended and the way it was intended to look and perform. And with this, with the little glitches going on around the characters, not working for me. I don't know if there's a fix to that on this specific device, if we can load up a different emulator, but for me, nah. Marvel vs. Capcom 2, not working. So next up, we're going to be testing out Resident Evil Code Veronica. Let's go ahead and check that out.
Perfect. Go on. Get out of here. This place is finished. I don't know, it might have been a special forces team. But in any case, this place has been taken over.
So there you go, Resident Evil Code Veronica. Just a little bit of footage of the game. Couldn't really get too far into it. Didn't want to, overdo it. This thing does get hot. I think a couple people pointed out in my previous video that the RK2020 gets hot, like too hot. And with the previous model that I had, I didn't really experience that. But with this purple bish, it's getting a little hot on the right side to where it's uncomfortable to play with. That's kind of weird to me. I don't know what's up with that, because the previous model that I had, the non-purple edition, it didn't really get hot. It got a little warm, but it didn't get hot. But this purple one is getting freaking hot. Now, Resident Evil Code Veronica, it's a very dark game. Hopefully you could see as, decently well. The game seemed to perform all right. Didn't really have too much of an issue there. So just wanted to point that out. So really, is this a portable Dreamcast? In my opinion, no. You're really gonna have to put in the work and effort, or, looking around, finding lists. I don't know if anybody has any lists out there talking about what games perform well and what don't. But yeah, if you want to play Dreamcast on this, you're gonna have to do a lot of testing and take a look at lists like that and recommendations on games that perform well. And for some people, that's not going to be cool, because some people are going to want to play these games that don't perform properly, and that's going to, really, dictate your decision on if you buy a device like this. So we have a lot more stuff like this lined up, testing other devices, newer stuff, older stuff, interesting stuff. So keep an eye out for that. Would I recommend this device for Dreamcast? For me, it's like, you got to be damn near close to 100%, and this is not anywhere near that for me to be comfortable saying, yeah, this is a Dreamcast like machine, right? So, you know, it performs well with a lot of other things, but Dreamcast, not as well as I'd hoped. So, really do appreciate you guys. And with that said, I will catch y'all next time. Peace out, bye bye, and boom. Bye.